Hello friendos, it's Bella from the Bookish Badger, and today I want to discuss audiobooks and are audiobooks reading? Ooh, controversy. Let me tell you a little bit about my personal history with audiobooks. I did not think that audiobooks were reading. Not because they did not count as a valid form to get a story or whatever, but because you were not doing the physical act of reading with your eyes. On top of that, when I was younger, I hated audiobooks so much. My mom would turn them on in the car, but I was not a fan because I got carsick really easily. So I think my whole life I've had this sort of negative attachment of audiobooks equal nausea for some reason, and I never really got past that until recently. Then came this past summer when I was in that book trivia competition, and I was looking for a way to really solidify the information and knowledge and everything of each book into my head and to get some reading time in where I wouldn't normally get reading time. So I started out trying to listen to Bone Gap by Laura Ruby, and that probably would have gone fine, but I think where I messed up was I ordered the physical CD set from the library, so it was kind of a pain in the butt to individually download each CD, and it wasn't working with downloading that day, so I only downloaded one CD and then I didn't have the rest, and I didn't want to go download the rest, so that became a whole thing. And besides that, when I was listening to it, I was tuning in and out of it, I was getting distracted, it was hard for me to pay attention, so I thought once again, nope, audiobooks must not be for me. Then came the audiobook for I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson, and I did two major things differently for this one. The first thing is that I got a free Audible trial and I downloaded it to my device rather than going through the whole thing of downloading all these CDs onto my MP3 player. The second thing I did differently was I read the physical book while I was listening. That, I believe, was an essential experience for me to start my journey of actually enjoying audiobooks. Now, on this particular audiobook, there were two different narrators, one male and one female, for the male perspective of the book and for the female perspective of the book. And I have to say there were definitely characters' voices that they did where I was like, no, that's not right. Why are you saying it like that? Why are you giving them that voice? But there were also good moments. There were moments where I actually cried from the audiobook where I didn't cry when I read the physical book alone. That's when I really began to think, okay, maybe I can get into audiobooks. I don't know how soon I'll pick one up again, but who knows? Then came along my recent 12-hour readathon, which I'll link down in the description if you haven't seen it yet. It was approaching, it was a few days before. I was thinking, okay, so there are going to be times when I cannot be physically reading a book. Do I want that to take away from the total 12 hours? Is there some way I can get around this? Wait, audiobooks. Maybe I'll just, I'll give that a go again. Let's see how it goes. That's when I tried the Overdrive app for the first time, which is something that a lot of libraries provide as a free service. It acts a lot like your library. You take out and you have to return books, but they're either ebooks or audiobooks. So I knew from looking a little bit before that they had the second book in the Young Elites trilogy, which is called The Rose Society. So I checked that out. I started listening to it that night to see how I liked it, doing the things that I would have to be doing the day of the readathon to see how it goes, if I got distracted, whatever. And it turns out that I liked it a lot, even better than the I'll Give You the Sun book. And the crazy part was, I wasn't even getting distracted like I was worried I was going to be. That's when I really started thinking, okay, maybe I really like audiobooks. Let me try a couple more and see how it goes. Then recently I just listened to Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin O'Leary Sands, narrated by Lin-Manuel Miranda, my baby, and it was fantastic. So now I'm thinking, yes, audiobooks are definitely for me. I've joined the dark side. But now that I've come over to the side of audiobooks, I still am not sure about the question, are audiobooks reading? Now, unsure is a step up from where I was before, which was thinking definitely no they are not. But this is where I would like our discussion to be. I'm so torn about this because when I'm listening to an audiobook, I'm definitely feeling and experiencing the same things that I would with a physical book. I'm still picturing everything in the same way. It's the same. In fact, I have felt like an unstoppable reading machine since I've discovered the joy of audiobooks. I feel like this whole world has opened up to me just because I can read when I wouldn't have been able to read before. I mean, I haven't even been switching the edition on Goodreads when I mark down that I've read a book to the audiobook edition. But on the other hand, what I considered reading before, a requirement of reading, which was the physical act of reading with your eyes, I'm not doing. So is it still reading if, sure, you're listening to a book, but you're doing just that? You are just listening to it. So that is why I'm coming to you guys with this question today, because I really want to know your thoughts and takes and opinions on this issue. And I mean, if you've got any good audiobook recommendations for me, please leave all of that in the comments down below. I cannot wait to hear what you guys have to say, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Speaking of, if you enjoyed this video, do not hesitate to give it a thumbs up, do not hesitate to subscribe for more content coming soon, and I will see you in the next video. Bookish Badger, signing off.